G'day guys, welcome to the mailbag preview for April 7 Championship Day. Got Walshy on board, my man.
The 18.
How you feeling about this card?
The Bendigo card is just, it is all over the shop. Deep fields, there's limited scratching so far to date. There will be value shopping. But
Yeah.
Bendigo's a great track to bet on too, because they do generally all have a good chance.
Yeah.
I reckon lately we've been seeing a lot of tracks which are playing favourites to the leaders, so Bendigo might be a bit different.
Do you think it might be different?
Oh, Bendigo's generally really even, and it'll be pace related, but then if we come back to a couple of these races, the maps in these races are near on impossible, a few of them. So
Yeah, the particular might be race 4
yeah,
or 5. God almighty, what do you do?
well that's it. Well, I'll let you kick off and then we'll
get through the stuff we've got to do. So this weekend we're going to have Mountie Mail from Ascot. Peter is probably most valuable player at the moment. Would you say?
When he was potting $1.40 shot on Good Friday
And declaring the $7 shot.
It's Good Friday.
He tipped $100 SP. Like, it didn't SP 100 on Betfair, but when he sent it out, it was 100 on Betfair.
Yeah, he's
Did you see that? Did you watch that last race?
I don't know, I just checked the account and just kept on going up.
My missus was like worried about me.
I'd be worried about you too, but
Yeah.
Pete's been. When you can find one in the yard sweating up at 2s on, it's not in the tips. I know they don't tell you to bet units, but coming from a bookmaking background, getting a couple of hundred out of him doesn't hurt. You're not hiding to nothing. But he's been going good, Pete, and I salute him. It's bloody good for me.
So Rob's actually got a wedding, so he's not going to be at Randwick, but I'm going to fly up and go to Randwick. I'm not going to go to Bendigo.
Which is severely disappointing for my bookmaking, I believe. I'll be on my own again. So anyway,
I don't think you can miss a Bendigo. Anyway, what has she done? Yeah, so I'll be heading up to Randwick. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a fat card. Group 1 racing will be good. Movers are flying. That's pretty much how we're going. That's how we're flying.
I reckon they might have found a winner during the week, or 2 winners during the week. Reliable Dame, Just a Dream.
They both just got there.
Doesn't matter how much they win by.
William Thomas was fat.
William Thomas, yeah. $13, less deductions, was it?
Yeah, he's still got about 11 something.
It started at 240, didn't it?
228, I think. I'll let it all go.
Yeah, it's all good.
I went out there just for that. Anyway, we'll be quick. So maps and prices, everything's available at the shop. Themailbag.com.au. Drew will handle everything if you've got any problems. So if you ever have a drama with a product, don't message me on Twitter, because I don't know the answer to your question, and I just pass on to Drew. So
Ring the IT man.
Yeah, Drew's the man. So we'll smash Bendigo quickly, yeah.
Righto.
Race 1. Yeah, race 1, 2400 metre race. Gaelic Chieftain is $6. Harrison $3.20. Sin to win $5.75. Brimham Rocks $4.80 and steady so far. And Zorkan $7.
Yep.
Along with the rest.
Do you want to do a map?
No, I don't want to map every race, but I'll map this one. I have. I think obviously Gaze will try and lead Multitude.
Yep.
Harrison will probably go forward. Sin to win box seat. Raindrops on Roses might cross and find itself 1 back, 1 off. I think Gaelic Chieftain with blinkers on might be forward, sort of midfield behind Raindrops. Zorkan blinkers off, probably a bit slower. It'll be back near last. Brimham Rocks, I think it'll be 4 back the fence.
Yep.
And if I was you, I'd be fucking laying it for everything I could.
Yeah, well, had a quick look at the race. I've always got a lot of respect for the imports that are brought over by Lloyd, and Harrison's no exception. Look, it'd be its 3rd start back in. Mornington Cup run was pretty solid considering. Like if you take the leader, of course, if you take the leader out around second, it wins. But the leader might be a bit of a horse as well. Look, I'm happy to go with Harrison in this grade.
Get off.
It's not a retired greyhound. That's just a whippet. Oi, sit down. Sit down. Oi, down.
Sit.
Have got a lot of respect for Gaelic Chieftain, because it was sort of, when they got rolling, it was well back and probably missed. They couldn't build into the race because the race wasn't run to suit. query over Brimham Rocks in terms of it was good enough last start, but I don't know what the depth of the race was. Charlie Vaux used to be one of my horses, but look, I reckon Harrison's got as good a chance as any. Like, I think it's 320, 330. I'm with Harrison.
All right, I think it's pretty simple. Garlic Chieftain is a sensational bet each way. What are we getting? Sevens, I'll say.
Yeah.
7 each way. It'll be a moves bet. Had the run at 2400. Kingswood Dream form's as good as any form in Melbourne at the moment. Staying form. Oh, it just ticks every box. I'd rather Brad stayed on it than Benny Allen, but just sort of sit and steer.
I'm with Benny Allen.
They'll be good. Yeah, I'm not. Nothing against Ben. I prefer Brad. There's good speed in this race. It's suited.
Righto.
Race 2, 3-year-olds, 1,000 metres. Anything?
Yeah. Well,
let's not do a map yet. It's too hard.
Don't want to do the map. Do you want to get the odds out quickly? Well, look, I'll start off before the odds are out. It's a reasonably even race, but I think
440 the field.
440 the field. I thought there was one with a bit of improvement, which was Green. Ran good time, and was good at the Sandown meeting in the 0 to 64 grade. And that's Villasachi. I think Noel Callow's a good rider, a strong rider, especially with these young horses. And I've written Tycoon Gelding. It's got a few ticks. It might be over the odds at $7-8. Good each way bet. Holy Blade was very good last start. Ran on over the top. Super Hard's trials are only fair.
Stable is struggling.
Yeah, only fair. I had a good bet on Watchdog at Pakenham because it looked immoral. I think it's short enough in tomorrow's. It's not tomorrow's day. Saturday's field. So look, I reckon that 3's a good each way bet, and I'm very wary of Holy Blade coming over the top of them. Can lay 2 and 4 for something. This race is not actually too bad because there will be a bit of pace in the race from Freezer over. Dry Creek Road led last start. Red Cord is very short too at 850, but yeah, 3 each way. Villasachi.
I thought Gowdy.
Yep.
Might be a bet if it won't be a bet because I'm not going to see it parade. But if something happens and I'm at Bendigo, I'll be really keen to see it parade. I think it's a bit sort of potent here first up. Holy Blade, very good to me, but it's stepping right up here, even though it's actually down in grade. I think Freeze Over is a good bet each way. Gets back around a bend. They're keeping it going.
How did you mark the 3? Villasachi.
Marked the 12s.
Okay. No, that's all right. Yeah, it just looked to 1 off the replays, which is a little bit green.
It's a story of this whole card.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You've got to put your balls up or you may as well not go.
Mm-hmm.
Super Hard. I'm happier potting Villasachi than Super Hard.
Yeah, one's $4.40 and the other's $8.
Seven. Have come for yours.
Yeah.
Is that you?
No, I'm absolutely cast. I'm going that bad. I'm drying the tea bags out in the clothesline at the moment. Recycling them. Does anyone need any equipment finance? I need to build a bank, so feel free to contact me on Twitter.
All right, race 3, 1,000 metres, Gold Rush, Avobus Gold Rush.
Yeah, this is
2-year-olds. Oh, I'm not doing the prices.
It's a $7
$8 a field, I think.
$8 a field. I've had a little bit of a look at it. I come up with Divine Mr. Tycoon with Chop King Jr. on it.
He could have a big day, couldn't
he? Yeah, he could have a good day there for sure. He was good in that Moonee Valley race. Sat up on pace. A lot of the 2-year-old races, the on-pace runners seem to win because they're better horses. So the maps aren't. They can map back at Moonee Valley, but they'll be on pace anyway. Divine Mr. Tycoon are marked on top. Really swished, ran on at Morpheville Parks, which is not always the best place to be at the parks running on because it's a leader circuit. Hymel, I've got to watch about. It started SP 370 against Performer in the Breeders' Plate, which I know.
Really?
I know. Jack's keen on these SPs.
That's a little pearl there.
Yeah. Well, look at Naduri hasn't done much wrong. Trained by David Brydyke with one owner, PG Moody. So it's a query, but yeah, look, the two's value enough in a very open field. Divine Mr. Tycoon for mine.
Yeah, no, I'm not adding anything.
Oh, actually, in a query about the 17.
It's a serious start job.
Yeah, yep. But there might be a bit of business because you find with the 2-year-olds, if they've got a few owners, people like to get to the track and back their horses.
A couple of sort of spruiked ones.
Yeah, and you can see there will be a bit of action on these between now and race day too, which can give you a bit of a lead.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I reckon Danny Curran had one. He was a local trainer there, and it might have been 70s into 7s and won.
Serious?
Yeah. Oh, when I say 70s into 7s, it was, yeah, but that's how much they got on for, I'm not sure, but it gave a little lead and I kept it under. It's good to see. Well, Drew's not on the show. It's good to see those, blokes. You're not calling them battlers. They just don't have the quality of horses that the big stables has. It's good to see them win the races on their home track on a Saturday. So.
Yeah. All right, race 4, 1100 metres.
This
Sprightly Lass, $2.50 best odds at the moment.
Yep.
Property, $3.55. Lyuba 10s, longer the rest. Toy Boys 10s somehow.
Yep. Well, Sprightly Lass probably leads.
Is it moral?
You'll know if Sprightly Lass is a moral when they've gone about 300 metres, because if they take it on, it can get rolled. Like, it depends how much pressure's on up front. I know. Look, I've marked it on top, but it's just one of those things. I reckon if they really give it if they push it up front, it could fold. But I'm not going to be putting it in for the national debt. I know you're not with Property. It has had 3 trials and they are okay, but a couple of its runs, like winning the Blue Diamond Preview, or 2.85 behind Catchy in the Blue Diamond, winning the Kindergarten. It's got obvious ability, but its trials didn't trial up, and the barriers not so flash. It's a really difficult race. Divine Mr. Artie's got a bit of ability. Whether it's right first up, it might roll over the top of them. If something like Ashlaw and Travinda take on Sprightly Lass, then I'd really like to be having Bassett's massive odds at $34, and Divine Mr. Artie can run on. Geez, it's a tricky map, tricky race. Yeah, just all around tricky.
I think Lyuba gets a really nice run here. I prefer sort of like 14 to $15 to be keen to back her each way. It's like this thing could just piss in Sprightly Lass. But I'm not touching it at the price. If I was a bookie, I'd be laying Property. It's cast. It's failed repeatedly. It's had 3 trials probably because it continues to fail. And now what they're going to do here, they either go back to last, sit real wide, or push it forward and use it up.
One thing.
Rock and Gold flying, and Bassett's the other one. Rock and Gold and Bassett are big odds. But Lyuba, I really like Lyuba as a horse. Like it first up. Weir is flying, like more so than normal, and Chop's on board.
I will cut in there. If Property had its old trainer, occasionally he would run them around Cranbourne a couple of times, and then they'd just come out and improve lengths. I'm not saying that anything untoward, but there's a couple of them.
Probably was.
Look, Paddy Payne trains the horses in the same colour, and he'll try them 4 or 5 times and they'll improve out of sight too. But yeah, I think you might be writing Property right off. Sprightly Lass, if you know Sprightly Lass is going to lead and do it at its own pace, it's a $1.80 chance. But yeah,
I do also. I have concerns with. I think Dwayne Dunn's riding really, really well.
Yep.
But on leaders is just the least likely time I want to back one of his rides.
I think
I know Drew would like. I think it's poison.
But if you wanted to back Bassett, Rock and Gold,
Lyuba,
Divine Mr. Artie, and you're not afraid if you do a small amount of units, so be it. Well, yeah.
If I was on track, that's how I'd be playing this race.
Yeah.
They'd either be going each way at one of them, with stand out in the yard, or nibbling 4 or 5 of them and taking on the 2 favourites.
That's it.
Race, you done there?
Yeah, I'm done there. Hold on, I've got, what do we got here? Right, I'll just send this bloke a thumbs up and say thanks.
Race 5, 1300 metres, benchmark 78. It's another Vobis race.
Yep.
This is this is tough. This I think Galaxy Raiders favourite at 420.
It is. It was very good down the straight in that Milwaukee race.
Shitty part of the track too.
Yeah, but the barrier 19 is a little bit concerning, so it will get back. I tipped Blue Tycoon heavily.
Yeah, and you tipped that on the show.
Yeah.
I reckon at 12s.
Yeah.
And it was $4 or something. What did SP?
Yeah, it started short.
Six. It got even shorter.
Yeah. And then you might have got back. I think it was 6s into 5s back out to 6s or something like that, but it doesn't matter because I didn't get the money. Dog didn't drop a turd, it was just a number ones. I don't know how well Blue Tycoon handled the straight. I'm sort of with it because it's very well suited today. Small claim, probably sits closer to the pace than a lot of the others in this race. If it's the right, it's a small each way play. Look, I'm 3 suited. 11's a good horse, but it's sort of a gunner horse too. Geez, I've backed it a lot of times when it's run second and whatever else. I know it's changed trainers, but yeah, 3 suited. 11's got a bad draw, but it's short enough. Fame list was enormous at Yarra Valley. It's a maybe.
Now you've brought it up. I'm tipping it on top.
Which one?
Fameless.
Fameless, yeah.
Should get a nice run. Times are big.
Yeah. Yep. And it ran all over the top.
Beat Miss Vixen, who's won last week.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot of horses here that you don't know where they're going to land.
Haskey's going to land right up in the pack too, but it's a tough race.
Haskey gets a good run, agreed.
3, 11, 15 and 12 is what I've put in my little printed out best bets here.
14 each way, 1 by 3.
15 each way.
15.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
15 Fameless each way, 1 by 3. Race 6. Mares, 400 metres.
Oh.
Is it a moral? Is it a complete not a moral? Why are we getting 380 French Motion? It shits on these horses.
On its best form, it wins. Will get back. Has got Brad on it.
Who's flying?
Yeah, these mares races are tough. Like this is a tough race. I come back to the thing I've said on the show over and over. Surely there's someone else who can ride Jester Halo. Like if it should have won so many races this prep, or so many races in its career. Like it's just, if you put an experienced, established Melbourne jockey on this horse, like it maps really well in this race. Schism's unknown. It went through a hot patch there.
Did, yeah.
It's got barrier 13. Karen Mars taken back over the reins, which I think is a really big positive for the whole stable. Look at this is another race which is near on impossible. Leave me out.
I think this is one of the races where you can actually have a crack. French Emotion is a moral. If they're running on, it's a moral.
Yeah, but if Schism and Give Us Go and Just a Halo put a bit of pace into the race.
Rough betting plan for me would be enormous bet at French Emotion at $3.80. It could well start $2.40.
Your horse is in this race though too.
Which one?
Number 12.
I hate that horse. Won't be losing on just a Halo. Totally agree with what she's saying. Spanish reform is really good form. Near Q, I would have something on it to not be stripped out at 26s, and yeah, pretty much happy risking the rest. Tahani, depending on how forward it was in the yard, I'd be a little bit scared of it first up. It was well back first up, I reckon, last time at Caulfield, and it wobbled around the turn probably from memory. But French Emotion is one of the few horses in this card I can borderline get pretty keen about.
Yeah, if I just open this up gently.
Oh, we've got a lot of feedback about that. Watch that rattle.
What do they call them? Snowflakes. I'll put them down on the. Yeah, sponsored by the Ear, Nose and Throat Hospital.
Race 7, the Golden Mile.
Golden Mile.
1600 metres, obviously.
This is a.
Some odds? Do you want some odds? So I'm ready for them this
You're
time.
ready for odds? Yeah, read them out. $6 a field.
Tradesman 9s, sort of light 10s. Light in my veins 9s. Kawia $6. Longer the rest. I think. Yep, along with the rest. So, big odds.
Yeah, this is a very even, open race, which it tends to be every year, the Golden Mile, and it's a good race. You know, 1600 metres. They're not the premier horses, but it does get a good mix of quality. There's heaps of chances. When I went through it, look, Nozomi's well in this, and it might. What odds is Nozomi? It'd be big odds.
No, case bet. Doesn't place. What are you getting? $13 a win. Doesn't run top 5.
Just hear me out.
I hate this horse.
It's one of those horses, Nozomi. It was luckless. This race hasn't got a lot of speed. It's going to sit. It's going to get a great little run, and it might be overs. It did win the beat Preferment. It's a 3-year-old.
I just think it's a horse that wins first up for whatever reason, and then chews up cash for the rest of the prep.
It could have been very close to Sovereign Nation in that race, but Nozomi's one that the general punter, as Dico said, is not going to back. It's going to be going for me. It'll probably drift from 13s. It'll be big odds on the day. I give it a really, solid hope. Kiowa, well, it was enormous first up, considering you would have thought it was a horse that started favourite in the Bendigo Cup last prep. It was a great run first up, but $6 is short enough because it will get back and could find traffic. Number 7, Light My Veins gets a good map. Big question mark around the 8 being a import. Sometimes you don't know how good they are. It did, as I said in the guide here, I haven't got Drew to give me the time form and all the rest of it, but
I should have asked him.
It was pre-post favourite for the Epsom Derby, then suffered a pelvic stress fracture. I could say a lot of things about that, but it's a gelding, so I won't. Anyway, it's obviously got some ability. Look, there's so many chances. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 13, 14, 16. Yeah, and the emergencies, I don't know if they'll run, but yeah, this is very open. But
yeah, hard to pen any horse just about in this race. What
apart
price?
From Nozomi, you're telling me.
I pen Nozomi.
Yep.
Pen Observational.
Observational won the race first up.
Pen Windspell. Pen Kenja Wood, which I'm finally doing. Probably means it wins.
Did you watch Windspells?
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, it's another bridesmaid, isn't it? Yeah.
It's an expensive horse. Sovereign Nation goes well. Amavasho is ready to win. Hard Hand's a really nice horse. Kauea, hard to knock. Light My Veins is a cracking horse. Midterm, I'll pen it at $8. Why not? Mask of Time, Cold Stone, 2 horses. I haven't decided yet, and if you guys at home, if you're backing my individual runners, I'll be winning on Cold Stone, Mask of Time, Sovereign Nation, Amavasio, and the biggest result is Seabird for me. I think it's like now or never for this horse.
Yeah.
And you're going to get a good price each way. Likely that's the way I'll go. I'll play Seabird each way.
I said it's an open field. I'm not going to.
This is like a high quality horse when right.
Yeah.
Like it's a proper horse. To some of these sort of.
Isn't it great? You're saying Windspell's a bridesmaid. 24 starts, 2 wins, 4 seconds, 6 thirds. Seabird. 20 starts, 2 wins, 3 seconds, 1 third.
Yeah. In group races.
Yeah. Group 1, Group 3, Group 1.
Yeah, this prep,
listed race Windspell.
This prep has been running around in good races and getting.
Yeah. It's the same sort of thing, but this is but Light My Veins has gone over to Adelaide. And
I thought Light My Veins was a complete and utter moral at Flemington during the Cup week, and it just didn't run properly.
But it's been beaten by Aussie Choice at Sandown. It's a strange race. It's another one that's deep and in heart.
I think the way I'll just go is Seabird each way, small bet.
Yeah, righto.
Race number 8, Walshy, we're almost there.
Yes.
400 metres, the Bendigo Guineas.
Have you noticed we're only 24 minutes in?
Yeah, I know, we're keeping it short.
There's
a lot of exciting shit to talk about. We're going to talk about the cricket soon.
No, we're not allowed to talk about the cricket. I'll get wiped. I'll get life. I'll be with Kim Hughes and Steve Smith in tears. Righto.
Don't bag Steve Smith, he's from the Shire.
No wonder. Righto, Bendigo race 8. This is a good race. You can map this one easy enough.
I haven't got to it yet. I don't reckon. you want the prices or the match, mate? You got to keep the order.
It doesn't really matter. The prices, with the price, Overshares well on the market.
Overshare 7, Saucony 650,
Holbein.
Holbein 5s. Longer the rest.
It's sort of typical of the day. There's no real short favourites, well, with the exception of Sprightly Lass.
Oh, I have mapped it. Saucony, Overshare, and Holbein sort of go forward. Who gets the front? Don't know. Probably Saucony can take a sit and make Overshare and Holbein work a little bit more. Sayo, KO, how are we saying that one?
You need to be close to pace.
He'll be box seating. He's got a challenge run here. So Far So Cool and Black Sail and Catsby gonna need to work. Maybe So Far So Cool gets in, but I don't know about Black Sail and Catsby. For Sure, nice run. Murahib, nice run. Weapon, Safront, who got everything possible go right for it at Sandown, is cast. Mastering, who I liked a little bit till I did the map, cast.
Yeah. I've sort of looked at this race, and there's, I think the class horses will probably, I shouldn't say the class horses, but first of all, I looked at it and I thought Overshare was a great run in that Super Saturday race of Sovereign Nation. It worked hard and still kept finding on the line against 4-year-old horses, like open class horses, which is great. And then I had a look at the time, 1:24.22, and on the same day, Holbein led all the way, wasn't completely pushed out, went 1:23.64. So I know I haven't got the times and margins and data, but Holbein was a great run. I marked him 5 on top from 1, Overshare. One of them might get the sit. It sits pretty, but yeah, slight preference to Holbein from Overshare. Big query about the 6, Nick Ryan runner. It trialled at Cranbourne. The trial was good. The trial was full of, it was out of the Widgie Turf trial. It went to the line completely unheld. It's
completely held.
Completely unheld. Completely held.
Untouched.
Untouched. It just had a run around. It's a real query horse, which I wouldn't be handing if there's money for it. I reckon the stable, it's got that smell that the stable sort of set it up for a race like this. First up, I really think it's got a chance. Black Sail would tip in each way a few weeks back. It's just a keep for me. So Far So Cool's got a rough chance, and For Sure ran on strongly in that Holbein race, but 5 and 1 on top, and then look for betting moves the rest.
Yeah, I want to back Weapon. Right?
I don't think it'll get a run.
If it gets a run, watch the market. If they back this horse, get on to it.
Yeah.
It's a betting stable. They leak out their information to everyone. Money will come if it's right.
Yeah. And
just grab a little bit of it. Map's awkward, but D Moore is quality. He'll figure it out.
D Moore, the fisherman.
Is he?
Oh, mate, he's from Waterboy.
The Bull.
Yeah.
I'm booked in for the Bull.
Actually, when I can sit there, I can still. Daniel Moore was a very skinny kid, obviously. We used to go fishing off the bridge, and how he didn't get pulled in by some of the fish he caught was amazing. Like fair dinkum. It's a wonder he didn't tie himself to the. I tell people this all the time. Like, he would have been, he would have still been 20 or 30 kilos sitting there fishing and pulling him in, dragging him like that. But he still goes fishing down there.
When are you going to take me fishing?
Oh, you're not Daniel Moore. I can go out with Daniel Moore instead. Won't be May Carnival. I think you might be a bit under the weather after a couple of days down there.
There's a lot of chat about how tough it is down there. I'm looking forward to getting into it.
It's only tough if you make it tough for yourself.
Do you reckon I will?
Well, it depends how big if you pump the chest out and get up there and just whack and see what happens. See you go on the Tuesday night, I suppose, first off. Just one step at a time.
Monday nights kick off.
You're hanging around with Ross and Tigsy down at Monday night then?
Yeah, I booked in. Booked in 7 o'clock.
Righto. So that is it. So
yeah, look, Weapon for me probably the value. Holbein's quality. So Coney first up, fresh. If they're leading and winning, which I'm not so convinced they run on anywhere at the moment.
Sorry, I didn't mention Saucony.
Saucony is a good horse.
It is one of my favourite horses.
Yeah.
Last Super Saturday, that was the end of a very substantial multi, and it won by a nose.
Yeah.
And then it was a reason why an account got barred at UBet when it won at Caulfield at the $21. I thought it trialled very ordinary and will need the run. But anyway.
KO's perfectly positioned here to run a big race. Mick Price is flying. Oversheet is a quality horse. And Murihib, you could maybe. The SP profiles are okay. If you like Holbein, you sort of can't pen overly too hard Murihib, in my humble opinion. Does it make sense?
There's plenty of chances though. It's just
I think you just got to have a massive crack at the Chieftain. If it gets rolled, just
you can back the Chieftain
I'm not
each
going to watch.
way.
I'll just do the replays on like Sunday or Monday
From
when they come good.
From a bookmaking point of view, I find I hold a lot of money when we got those $1.80, $1.90, $2.20 shots, and there's just none here. These are all fives of fields jobs, so you probably got more percentage in your favour, but a lot of people just don't bet. Like I find that general massa punter will go, it's a moral. I'll have my 10 units or whatever we want to say, like a couple hundred or whatever, and you keep building, or $50, but these they just don't want to play, and the general punter won't back, $5 on 4 horses at 20 to 1 sort of thing, which is unfortunate for me.
Maybe in time they will.
Yeah, well, hopefully they're not with me. They're getting the mail. I'm probably giving betting advice, which is to my detriment. But anyway, righto.
Race 9, 400 metres, benchmark 90.
Oh, Jesus.
Centre pivots, $51 here, 365. It's second up for DK Weir.
Yep. So it's not favourite.
It's a good horse. Brad's on.
Yeah.
Imagine if you take some cash on this at like 40s, 50s, and then DK and Brad fuck you over in the last, and you're driving home from Bendigo.
That's all. Just getting a plane and go to Sydney. Go up to, what is it, Northies? Is it Northies? You're down in Cronulla? What's the joint?
No, well, I've got to decide whether I'll come home straight away and save a lot of money in my liver.
Yeah.
And whatever else.
Is it Northies? Oh, is that the joint?
Northies the joint in Cronulla.
Yeah, I'll go and hang out with Paul Gallen. Paul Gallen.
He's probably down there having a beer too.
No, he'd be jumping off the bloody.
Oh,
edge
don't say that, you idiot. I'm not going to edit anything out today.
No. We don't edit anything out anyway.
No, the Swans are on Saturday night at the SCG. They're playing the Giants.
Oh, I'm on the Giants already.
They're going to win the comp, I reckon.
I hope so. I hope so.
Anyway, focus. Leodoro, $6. King's Command, $5.50. Jeez, it's flying. Land of Plenty. This is a serious racehorse. Second up for DK Weir at $4.60. $9 My Paisan and Burroon's Buzz, believe it or not, and longer the rest.
Geez, the map's changed.
Hellberg just is getting longer and longer SPs every start.
Yeah, that's all right. He's good bloke, Mickey Roebuck.
Just setting them up.
No, he's a good fella, Mickey Roebuck. He'd just be honest and trying to get it going. But
no, John Sadler's got Hellberg.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said. I'm looking at the other race. What am I talking about?
Race 9, number 14, Thelberg. Chris Caserta.
I'm thinking of
Johnny
else.
Sadler.
Which one's Mickey Roebuck got in? Bell Burgess, I was thinking of. What race is that in? Race 5, wasn't it?
It was earlier.
Yeah, race 5, Bell Burgess, I think, different horse. Maps are really changed here because Saracino Mahoney have scratched, which I would have had on pace when I did the form. Look, what... No, this is another deep race. Righto, massive query, number 7, Ragu. Its trial at Cranbourne was good enough. It won first up in the Peninsula Cup at Mornington. I've got a really big query about this horse. It's got barrier 6. Once again, if the money comes, I wouldn't be afraid to have something on it. King's Command was very good last start. Leodoro's well in the market now, isn't it?
It's a bit short. Yeah,
when I started the form, I think it was bigger odds. Look, I've just gone through it and I said 4, 6 and 7 were all value, and that was when I did this race on the Wednesday night. The 5's on Pates and got a good chance, but it has drawn very wide. Barham's Buzz was very good first up in a race where you would have thought it'd be completely outclassed.
Well, it SP'd $91 against Sovereign Nation.
Yep.
And now they want you to take 9s.
Yeah, but that's just Austin from Swanhill. He does his best, mate.
No, well,
It'd be good for him to win.
Bad punning doing that.
And Land of Plenty is it's another gunner horse, but it could. Whoa. Okay.
It's formerly a Robbie Lang horse.
Yeah, but
which is a stable full of gunners.
Yeah. Oh, well, as I said,
So Sabon.
Well, what about the Mighty J-Rod? I said, Drew, you know the owners. Can we buy this horse? Come out and won 4 in a row.
That was well done by you.
Yeah,
just didn't get it done.
No one had the cash to tip in. It improved more than I thought. But it has had 16 starts for 1 win, and it gets back and runs on, which sort of like everyone gets fools into these horses.
It's a horse with a 6% winning strike rate and it's favourite.
Yeah, well there you go, hit the nail on the head.
That's what you're trying to say, and it is scary, but it's second up DK Weir, and I've no doubt it's the most talented horse in this race.
Look, I'll be.
So
Sabrins was a good horse, is it?
Yeah, I was going to say, this is my betting plan. If I'd have to bet right now, I'm going to back Centre Pivot, I'm going to back Sabrins, and I'm going to just get a little bit out of Land of Plenty, because they're the 3 horses I sort of like in the race.
Yeah,
and I probably would have a chop out, a mental health bet, because it's the last race of the day on Thelberg. Because if Johnny Sadler and Chris Caserta pull one over me here, all of a sudden it pings the lead and just keeps going.
The Gap. That was
I'll be going.
That's what I thought about, the Gap. That's the joint in Sydney you go, don't you?
Yeah, that's in the eastern suburbs.
Oh, right. Not down the Shire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jesus.
It's like BZ's little area, Coogee way.
Jack Steen, Brent Sarafa, very, very scary. Nick Heathcote gets up there occasionally too. So, yeah, it's deep and hard, and Jesus, a tough program.
Deep and hard.
The program, it's deep. It's hard to pick a winner. It's just, yeah, you just don't want to get shafted.
All right, what's next?
Case bet.
Case bet. Okay, the Case Bet Cup this week. So pretty exciting last week. I really enjoy these, and the merch is on the way from Betfair. To forgotten his name. It's on my phone. He's getting his merch. So Case Bet Cup this week is the Doncaster in Sydney. It's Sydney race 9. As soon as this video goes up, this tweet will be the one which first in, best dressed. You pick a horse, you get that horse for the Doncaster. The highest.
You want to? We'll get Nick have a few more of these goodies coming into winter. They're actually alright.
Yeah. Well, let me finish.
Merch.
The highest finishing. So whoever selects the highest finishing horse will win a case or a $50 Dan Murphy's voucher,
which is paid by
played by the bloke who selected the lowest finishing horse. Declared starter.
Yeah, and if someone doesn't pay for it, you're allowed to, like.
I'll cover it, and they'll be barred for life.
They'll be releasing their name on Twitter.
Oh yeah, every show.
You'll be walking down the streets.
Well, you could pay for it. Whoever buys the pegging note, whoever pays for the whoever finishes last and buys the case, also will receive some Betfair merch, courtesy of Betfair, and whoever finishes first gets some Betfair merch as well. So, Randwick race 9, the Doncaster Mile. It's a great race, and we need to pick our horses now.
Yeah, well,
so
I was going to say I should pick Tom Melbourne because I'm not going to have to pay it up.
That way Drew can't take it.
No, I'm not going to do that. I reckon whoever gets this up, take Tom Melbourne first, just to make Drew sweat a bit. Drew might get in first. We just never know what's going on. Look, I'm going to go for Tossum Stardom. A fella said to me who knows at the course on Blamey Day that the horse just wasn't suited because the race, they just went too slow. It's used to a bit more pace on. I'm happy to take it at big odds, like it's $30 or something like that. Is it not? But I'm with Tossum Stardom. That gives you all a chance out there. If the race is run to suit it's a pretty good miler.
Humidor's not favourite, is it?
Well, it doesn't matter if it is.
Happy Clapper should be favourite, is it?
I think Kementari might be favourite.
Just
get the odds up. I haven't done the form, but
anyway, I am taking Humidor. Gets blinkers on. DK Weir flying. He's improved dramatically up there in Sydney now, and I think he'll be winning. I think the other horses that have sort of run top 4, because I'll be playing some trifectas. Actually, I'll be up there, so I don't have to pick it too early. But Happy Clapper is flying with his set for this. Kementari is one of mine, and the other one I really like in the race is Coming Through. So that'll be my 4. But I'm taking Humidor in the Case Bet Cup.
Geez, what's going on? Mick Walker's on Invincible Gem, not coming through. After winning on it last start.
Tim Clark's better than Mick Walker. Yeah, he is.
No. How many Group 1s has Tim Clark ridden in the last 12 months?
Don't start with this Mighty Boss stuff again.
Not Mighty Boss, what about the Harlan?
Yeah, you know they had in common?
Well, they both shouldn't have won.
SP to hundreds.
Yeah, that's what I mean. No, good. But it's just, look, Tossum Stardoms for me, massive overs, each way bet.
Alright. AFL Supercoach draft, that's tonight. There was 2 spots when we started filming, there probably isn't now. You're not doing it?
No, I've got enough stresses in my life to deal with you and Ross bloody paying the shit out of me for not being able to, you know, find a bloke who can get a kick.
I can't wait for it. I'm excited about it. Masters tip, what do you got?
Oh, Masters, yes. Now, I've got a golf judge. Now,
I've got one too.
And this golf judge declared to everyone that Danny Willett would win the Masters a couple of years ago. Oh, please. I've got to hang up on that person.
Alright, I'll go first. I have backed, courtesy of the Betfair sort of insider thing, I've backed Henrik Stenson to beat his countryman. And I've laid Rory McIlroy.
Righto. Well, my man, who likes this stuff, stays up too late or gets up too early, whatever, to watch the golf. He said there's no value this year, but Justin Thomas is his go. Who's Justin Thomas?
He's like third or fourth in the market.
All right, well, give him strength.
In the third or fourth in the market, still like $18 or something.
Righto.
All right, best bet, Walshy.
Oh, best bet. I haven't really done. I've done plenty of form on Bendigo. Look,
All right, you just take your time. I've got it. Okay, best bet of the day is French Emotion. Straight, the win. 2 value bets of the day. Gaelic Chieftain each way, race 1 Bendigo, and race 3 Rose Hill. Probably my best bet of the day. Probably it could be the month. Catchy each way. It is a horse dropping from Group 1 grade against boys to 3-year-old fillies grade Group 3.
I agree with Dicko with Catchy.
Shut.
I think it's
fucking moral. It's a great bet. It should be
really
$2.80. Shot.
Yep. Oh, look, I'm happy to back Blue Tycoon each way at $7. And there was something else in there as well. I'm just flicking through my guide. Look,
$50 all up for the mailbag. What are we doing? I'll have Chieftain to place, into Catchy to place, into whatever you want.
Why don't you just take Catchy to win? Why don't we just go Gaelic Chieftain into place, which would be even money, into Catchy to win, which is $7 or $8.
Done. That's
15 to 1 for 50. If it wins, we've got some drinking money. Why not?
Done.
Righto, and yeah, Phil Saatchi and Blue Tycoon each way for the loyal Victorian punters.
Alright guys, hope you found a winner. Mounting our mail, everything via the website. Hope you win on the weekend.
All the best.
Bye.